Hey, good morning. This is your 5 minutes of fire. I think I got a good one today. Today is about what are the non-negotiables in your life? What are the things that you absolutely will not compromise on no matter what? And it's the things that are non-negotiable in your life that are going to define your life. They're going to define your success, your character, your values, your outcomes. You know, the things that you're unwilling to waver on are going to determine where you end up. You know, like for example, one of the things that obviously is one of my core values that I'm unwavering on, that I just will not relent on, is fitness. You know, it's exercise. Part of it's because I have, goals like for triathlon and for body fat and for strength and all these things. But, really it's because I'm a leader in healthcare. You know, I see a ton of patients and I'm talking to you guys as a health expert. So if I let my health go, I'm going to be out of integrity and I'm not going to have credibility. You know, so part of it's this is one of the pillars for the platform that I can stand on and, preach health. But it's just, I want to be healthy for my family and become everything I'm supposed to be, in God's eyes too. But the point is that my fitness is something that I'm unwavering on. Like if we go on vacation, I don't stop working out because I'm on vacation. Like that never made any sense to me. It's like, well, I'm on vacation. And like if I'm on vacation, I'm like, oh, cool, extra time that I can spend working out. Let's take our kids on a run. Let's rent bikes. Let's rent skis. Let's go, let's rent a boat. Let's do something active. Let's exercise. You can have fun with it. It's not like you gotta sit there in solitude on the treadmill everywhere you go. It's not like that at all. But fitness is one of the things that I'm unwavering on. Another thing that I'm unwavering on is time, individual, intentional time with my family. So I'm not saying I'm perfect every single week with this stuff, but I'm unwavering on date nights with my wife and even date nights with my daughters. Last week, me and Elle, my 5-year-old, spent 30 minutes in the sauna. She wanted to learn about how to make money and how does God actually get your money when you tithe it? And then the three things we talked about was when you get money, you do three things: you tithe some, you save some, and you spend some. And I asked her, what do you want to, what would you spend your money on if you had a bunch of it? And she goes, oh, I'd probably buy a Fixer Upper. My wife loves that show, so we watch a little bit of that at home. But anyway, then we went to the juice bar. We talked about the human body and chiropractic. She wanted to know what chiropractors do and how the brain controls the body and all this stuff. It was really cool, and we got to talk and we got to hang out. But those moments are precious, and I'm unwavering on spending time with my kids and with my wife. Same thing. Again, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I do it every single time. I'm not saying I don't get busy, sidetracked, miss a week, sometimes two, sometimes even a month maybe. But in the back of my mind, it's non-negotiable. Another thing for me is when it comes to healthcare, like non-negotiable, unwavering, that when I'm in pain or if I'm sick, I'm not taking a medication. Now, if I'm gushing blood, yes, take me to the hospital, stitch me up, fix, surgery, save my life. If I'm dying, because there's a lethal something in my body, give me an antibiotic, give me a medication. But it's been 15 years since I even took an aspirin. Let alone painkillers, cold and flu medication, vaccines. And how often am I sick? Maybe once every 2 years for a day or two. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying when you take care of your body and you have these things that are non-negotiable, you don't have to compromise and then take outside-in forms of medication or healthcare that we all know it doesn't actually fix the cause of the problem anyway. Like when you take an aspirin, it doesn't fix the cause of your headaches, because your headaches aren't because of a lack of aspirin in your brain anyway. So it covers the symptoms. So my point is, because now you have to do the things in your life that afford you the ability to be non-negotiable. If you live on McDonald's and you sit on the couch all day and you drink and smoke, then when you get sick, chances are you're probably going to have to take an antibiotic because you don't have an immune system anymore. You killed it a long time ago, and so now you need some outside-in help. But if you do the right things, it affords you the ability to stay true to your core values. I had a patient the other day that quit care, And it was because they couldn't afford it. And to me, I understand that, sometimes times get tight. We underestimated the amount of taxes we were going to pay this year, partly because our practice grew by 30%. And, so as your practice grows, everything grows. And so we were diligent about saving every month. But, we didn't really realize that we had grown that much. Was obviously a blessing. Is a great thing. It's what we prayed for. But sometimes when you pray for big things, you also have big things that, come in the wake of that you got to pay attention to. So anyway, my point is, just because we owed more on our taxes doesn't mean I'm going to stop eating healthy. It's like, and so it's like, we owe more in taxes, so I guess we're not going to do smoothies in the morning and take our supplements. We're going to have to live on McDonald's for a while, guys. Like, that just makes no sense to me whatsoever. Like, I would take out a loan to eat healthy, to exercise, to take the right supplements. Because why? Because it's not because I'm just some health nut who's out in left field, staring at the rainbows and playing with butterflies. It's because, I'm a dollars and cents, guys. I read the research. I know that the number one cause of bankruptcy in our country is medical bills. Even when you have insurance, 75% of the people go bankrupt with insurance, and it's because insurance doesn't pay for you to be healthy. You have to invest in your health on the front end, and it'll save you a ton of money in the long run. So even though we got squeezed a little bit financially, like, it's still worth the investment to take care of myself. And chiropractic is the same thing. Chiropractic for me is a non-negotiable. Why? Because the brain and nerve system control everything in your body. And if you leave subluxation or pressure in the nerve system, your body doesn't function correctly. So patients will tell me, I have to quit care because I lost my job, or because we got hit with this financial crisis, or we had our car broke down, or we had our kids going to college or something like that. It's like, and, I'm not trying to be insensitive, and I obviously don't say this to patients, right on the spot, but it's like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, that means I did a really poor job of explaining the non-negotiative nature of chiropractic, your brain, nervous system, and function and health in your body, because you would never give it up no matter what. Just like you would never give up date nights. Like, you don't say, well, honey, it looks like we can't do our date night for 6 months because I got to be really busy. Well, you can do that, but we all know the end of the story when you do that. Same thing with eating healthy. Same thing with, your finances. When you neglect these things, or you compromise on the things that are supposed to be non-negotiable in your life, like, you pay the price. And in chiropractic, it's like, I can't even imagine giving that up. Like, I would. Patients will tell me, well, I'm still going to take the supplements. I'm still going to eat healthy. I'm still going to drink smoothies. I'm still going to come to the workshops. Great. But you're neglecting the number one most important element of your body. And it's not chiropractic. It's your nervous system. It just so happens to be that chiropractic is a vehicle to enhance the function and healing capability of your nervous system. So it's non-negotiable. So quit taking your supplements. Quit buying organic for a little bit. I'm not saying go live on McDonald's. Maybe buy, conventionally grown food versus, the organic expensive stuff. But stick with your chiropractic. It's the most important element. And that's not me saying this. Gray's Anatomy says out of the 9 systems in the body, the nervous system is the most important. And when your spine protects the nervous system. So I know most of you listening to this are already into chiropractic. You get it, your patients or your chiropractors. But I'm just a little bit perturbed because then people come back a year or two later and they'll be complaining like, oh, I don't know what happened. I'm getting these headaches again. I'm getting my indigestion again. Do you think it has to do with my spine, my nerve system? Duh. No offense, but I told you that 1,200 times when you were as a patient for 2 years. Again, it's not their fault, it's my fault. I get that. The followers are only going to be as wise as their leader, I think. Otherwise they won't have you as your leader. And that's a topic for another day. If people are leaving you, it's because you're not leading them well enough. They're going to go find leadership somewhere else. I'm not going to go to a church where the pastor knows less than I do or is less wise spiritually than I am. I'm not going to go see a personal trainer who's less fit than I am. I'm not going to take nutrition advice for someone who's 300 pounds. We'll talk about that next time. But the point is, try to identify what's non-negotiable in your life and then stick to that. Make a commitment and prioritize those things, because it's the things that you're unwavering on that are non-negotiables that are going to determine your outcome and determine your destination, if you will. All right. Have an amazing day. Happy Monday.